Welcome back to school, Broncos. I hope you had a safe and eventful winter break and are getting used to the school life once again.
I definitely haven't gotten used to it yet. I just wish I could still be on vacation mode.
Well, you better snap out of it, Diana, because so much has already happened the past few weeks of school opening up again.
Thanks, Alejandro. Even if I'm not ready to start, I know the semester will keep moving forward without me.
There's a lot of interesting topics to discuss and catch you up to speed. So without further ado, let's get started on this semester's first episode of
Post Now.
Starting off this week's headline recap, many students and faculty members on campus expressed their disappointment and confusion following the CFA strike.
Generation Z is breaking away from traditional dating etiquettes, and their approach to relationships might just work.
CPP's new Instant Access program for students to get textbooks for a cheaper price might not be worth it for all students, and here's how they're looking to improve it.
CPP is once again celebrating Black History Month on campus with events, celebrations, and more.
And last but not least, CPP's very own Professor Emerita Valerie Milano was recently inducted in the Green Industry Hall of Fame. The recent strike across all 23 CSU campuses came to a sudden halt just after one day of protesting when everyone was prepared for a week-long battle. Both students and faculties were disappointed and dissatisfied with the results of the strike, as they felt that the union leaders have turned their back on the cause by folding on the first day. To learn more about the faculty strike, please check out the Polypost website.
Generation Z is changing the dating scope and breaking from traditional approach to dating, with different styles of approaches and conversations in the generations before them. CPP psychology professor Alejandro Morales says that people before had rules and protocols to follow when it comes to dating. But nowadays, Gen Z makes a more simple approach to finding love and communicating their wants and needs to each other. If you'd like to read more on the topic, you can find the rest of our story on our website.
Last semester, Cal Poly Pomona offered a seemingly affordable program known as the Instant Access Program that allows all students to pay a flat fee for all of their textbook needs. However, due to a high volume of students not knowing that there's an opt-out option, many have complained about an unexpected charge to their student accounts. Luckily for us, the Biden-Harris administration is now pushing to modify the program to require students to opt in instead of opting out to avoid any more anger and confusion. For more future updates, please check out the Polypost website.
Cal Poly Pomona and the Black Resource Center are celebrating Black History Month all February with goals to educate, entertain, and celebrate our African American community on campus. With many events to look forward to this month, the BRC kick-started the celebrations with the Black Alumni and Friends Poetry Slam, hosted by poet, artist, and engineer David J. Oliver. If you're interested in reading more about how CPP celebrates Black History Month, please check out our website.
CPP's Professor Emerita Valerie Milano was recently inducted into the Green Industry Hall of Fame for her career in higher education and her work advising farmers on environmental issues. Even with such an amazing achievement, Professor Milano continues to make her mark as she's maintaining a lab and teaching part-time here at CPP. Thank you for your hard work, and we can't wait to see what you have in store for us next.
Kansas City Chiefs took down the San Francisco's 49ers in this year's Super Bowl with a final score of 23-22 as a result of overtime. Did CPP students project this outcome? Let's head over to Cesar now for this week's Reporter on the Street to find out more.
Hi, my name is Cesar Rivas, and today we're going to be asking students about who they think is going to win in the Super Bowl, what they think about the halftime performance, and Taylor Swift's involvement.
I think the Chiefs are going to win. Why is that? They just had a better year than the 49ers in comparison to stats in regards of how they play and how they act as a team. And as much as I want the 49ers to win, I think that the Chiefs are going to win.
I think we're rooting for the 49ers. Yeah. 49ers are going to win.
And 49ers, they're just a better team. Christian McCaffrey's got it.
All right, thank you.
I have the 49ers winning because I'm a Raiders fan, and I don't like the Chiefs or the Niners, but I have the Niners to win because it's not Patrick Mahomes or Travis Kelce, right?
I want to say the 49ers just because my dad supports, and so I gotta bring it home for the Pops.
I gotta go for the 49ers just because I'm not into that whole like Taylor Swift like phenomenon thing going on. I'm anti-Taylor Swift, so let's go 49ers.
I actually really like Taylor Swift, man.
I just don't like how they have this media around her this whole season. I'm just like, nah, irrelevant.
It kind of sucks that she won't be performing as she will be there, but it's gonna be fun watching the game and then seeing her there as well.
Is she supposed to be like Tokyo or something, like the day before? You may never know. She might fly in a plane or something, or like come in on a parachute or something like that.
I mean, she should be there. It's good for the game. A lot more people are going to watch it if she's there, so cool.
Yeah, I feel like I've heard more about the Super Bowl this year than I've ever had. I think the Chiefs have gotten a lot of attention because of Taylor Swift, and a lot of Chiefs fans are mad about it because it's mostly catered to Taylor Swift. So.
It's Usher? Oh, really? Oh, I didn't know it was Usher. I mean, I'm always down for the halftime show.
I think he's going to have some sick moves, He's always got the nice moves, and hopefully he brings like a special guest, maybe Justin Bieber. I don't know.
I hope he plays DJ God Is Falling in Love Again. That's my favorite.
I don't really know much about Usher's performances, but I think he's going to bring out crazy people, so maybe.
I was kind of disappointed about it, but it's probably gonna be a good halftime show, not gonna lie.
There you have it, Broncos. The students have decided the 49ers will win the Super Bowl. Thank you.
For all the Chief fans, congratulations, you won this time. But there will be a next time. I just know it, 49er fans.
I was just there to see Usher perform the halftime show, but I'm not going to lie, the game in itself was a performance, especially during overtime.
But above all that, the one true team I'll always root for is our very own Broncos. And Noel is back at it again with another segment of Polypost Sports.
What's going on, Broncos? My name is Noel Sanchez. I hope everyone is having an amazing time at school so far in 2024, and welcome into this semester's first segment of Polypost Sports. It is spring and everybody knows that means it is peak baseball season. Let's round the bases and break down CPP's baseball team's very busy weekend, where they won their first 3 out of 4 games this year, all against Azusa Pacific University. Over a 2-day span, the Broncos put up a combined 23 runs compared to APU's 13, and their best game came on February 9th, where they won 10-2 and starting pitcher Caleb Reyes struck out 6 batters while allowing just 2 hits. Catch them back in action Thursday versus Westmont. Next up, we have a very historic feat to talk about, considering that Sarah Lidzenthal and Amelia Adamson represented CPP's women's track and field team in an indoor pentathlon for the first time ever. Lidzenthal placed 16th place overall and landed in the top 8 in high jump. Adamson came in 17th place overall and logged the 60-meter hurdle time of 9.65 seconds, which is now the 7th best time in CPP's program history. And the moment everybody has been waiting for, let's cross over into CPP's basketball team, starting off with the men. The Broncos lost a high-scoring thriller match on February 8th to Chico State 81-87. Jaden Winfield recorded 15.6 rebounds and shot 50% from deep in the loss. Fortunately, CPP bounced back just 2 days later with a 61-55 win over Cal Poly Humboldt as Bam Johnson led the way with 15 points. They'll be back on the court next Friday against Cal State East Bay and boast a record of 7-13. Moving on to the women's basketball team, they also fell at the hands of Chico State February 8th with a final score of 63-71. Sydney Nelson then flipped the entire script and helped CPP bounce back on February 10th as they took down Cal Poly Humboldt 52-46 to improve to a 15-7 record. They too will return to action next Friday versus Cal State East Bay. I am very excited to have CPP women's basketball senior guard Sydney Fedinas joining me on the show today. Sydney, how are you doing today?
I'm good, and I'm excited to be here.
Awesome. Thank you so much for joining me, taking time out of your busy schedule. CPP women's basketball has been popping recently. Everybody on campus has been talking about you guys. Attending the games, I've had the pleasure of being at a couple. You guys are currently 15-7 on the year and are coming off a big 52-46 win over Cal Poly Humboldt. Sydney, what type of leadership role have you assumed this year, especially at this point in the season?
Yeah, as an upperclassman, I really try to lead with example. I really know what our program wants, and what Coach B wants. So me helping the underclassmen kind of get through their first season. We have a lot of freshmen, 5 freshmen. So I really just tried to take down that leadership role of showing them this is our culture, and yeah.
Yeah, I mean 5 might not sound like a lot, but that's really a whole new roster right there.
Yeah.
That's a lot of girls that you need to get acclimated to the culture that you guys have built here. So I'm glad that your coach trusts you to be able to do so, along with obviously taking on the role that you take on the court. But going back to some of your earlier basketball days, Sydney, I know you grew up in Las Vegas. You played at Shadow Ridge High School, which is ranked number 11 in your senior year. What was the high school basketball scene like over in Las Vegas, and how did TPP first start scouting you when you were out there?
Yeah, so the high school is very competitive. We have a lot of up-and-coming athletes coming out of Vegas. we're pretty good out there. They actually recruited me through my AU season and not my high school team, but it was Las Vegas Heat, and coach came out and watched a couple of my games and just offered me right after that.
Yeah, shout out AAU basketball.
Yeah.
I feel like outside of just high school, AAU is a great way for players to get scouted and to get offers. It's important just to keep playing in the summertime when you're not playing with your normal high school. But I've interviewed your head coach, Danielle Bishop, on multiple occasions, and I mean, she preaches defense above all else for your team. Obviously, the offense super exciting, be able to score the ball, but how do you and your teammates stay disciplined on that end when you face like some pretty talented scoring teams?
Right, so our identity is defense. We preach defense game after game. We want to hold them to a certain amount of points. We want to have a really big rebounding gap between them. Like, we preach defense over and over and over, and we know if like we score 1 point and hold them to 0 the rest of the time, we win the game. So it's always defense, defense, defense.
That's the way to do it. I mean, even in the professional basketball scene, there's a lot of players that have roles on the team when they're not skilled scorers, but it's because if you can shut down the best player on the other team and you could at least be respectful on offense, you're always going to have a role to play on the courts. But Sydney, talking a little bit more about your team, you guys went from missing the CCAA tournament and an 8-15 record in your first year in 2022 to an 18-11 record and an NCAA tournament appearance in 2023. Now, kind of building off of that, what do you think is a good goal for you guys to have as the season comes to an end in order to deem it a successful one?
Yeah, so as we strive for second place, we're hoping to get a bye on the first round of CCAA tournament, and we're really hoping to get that CCAA win, so it sets us up for the NCAA tournament really nicely. But yeah, our goal is to win that CCAA tournament.
That's amazing. Everybody here at CPP wishes you guys the best of luck with that. We're all going to be supporting. Hopefully everybody's able to pop out of more games as you guys continue to win. Sydney, thank you so much for joining me. I know, like I said, you have a busy schedule. You guys have been active all year long, but appreciate you hopping on the show.
Of course. Thank you for having me.
Of course. And we wish you guys the best of luck the rest of the season. Hopefully you guys make us all proud, get that CCAA tournament win and the NCAA tournament win.
Yep, thank you.
That is all for Polypost Sports today. Make sure to stay tuned for more Polypost Sports content this semester and keep up with all things Broncos sports at broncosathletics.com, where they stream games on the CCAA network. Once again, my name is Noel Sanchez. You can follow all of my sports coverage on Instagram at Noise by Noel, and have an amazing rest of your week. Thank you for tuning in. Now back to the anchors.
Thank you for this week's sports recap, Noel. The Broncos really are fighting hard every day.
Which means I have to start getting my semester rolling too. Otherwise, it'll be the end before I know it. But that's all for today's episode, Broncos. Tune in again next time with us here at Polypost Now.
And don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel so you can be notified when the latest episode comes out.
And check out our website at thepolypost.com for more lady news content. But for now, this has been Diana.
And this is Alejandro.
We'll see you on the next episode, Broncos.